Hi there, Virgos. Welcome to your love, romance, and relationship reading for the month of December 2017. So, I'm feeling, first of all, financial squabbles coming into the relationship, okay? Be very careful, finances is one of the major trigger for arguments and separations and divorces in relationships. So, just make sure that you know that money is a means to an end and nothing more. And I feel like you know this. I feel that you know this. But I feel like, in terms of practicing what we know and applying what we know to real life, it can be a little bit difficult. So this is a month to kind of like, when you get upset, take a breather, take a moment, step away from that conflict. Really try to calm yourself through, some deep breaths and think about as well, what do I love about this person? Dwell on what you love about the other person. Because a lot of the times, Virgos tend to be quite critical of the people around them. You can love, but you can also really nitpick and dwell on faults of the other person. So this is the month where we need to be kind to others, and we need to exercise that sense of, wisdom and fortitude and operate from our higher self so that we can see the good in people. And we can momentarily step away from conflict so that we don't escalate a situation, okay? It's also Mercury in retrograde, so there will be a lot of things that needs to be rehashed, things that come up between you and other people. If you've been sweeping them under the rug, or if the arguments from years ago never got resolved, those things are going to be itching to come up as well. So it's kind of like a fertile ground for a lot of opposition. It's a fertile ground for arguments and disagreements to take place. And if we are aware that the energy of the planets are also affecting the way we behave, we might err on the side of de-escalation rather than letting silly things get out of control and having to deal with the consequences when it doesn't have to be that bad. Okay, so that's just my advice for you guys. I'm also feeling as well there is some type of a third party involved here in your relationship. So let's go into your reading. Yeah, there's some type of a third party here. Okay, so let's talk about the foundation. And the foundation is what you know to be true. We have here the Three of Cups in the reverse. And the Three of Cups in the reverse is a situation where there are three people involved in a relationship. Usually somebody who is juggling options, who is juggling, multiple options, multiple suitors, still dating around and still trying to figure out who they should commit themselves to. So I feel like you're dealing with somebody that does want to have a relationship, but they're not really sure whether or not they're ready to commit. Okay, so I feel like there is somebody who's commitment shy. They like the thrill and the excitement of meeting new people, forming new relationships, and just being able to date. And so if you're hoping for I feel like some of you are hoping for somebody to pick you, to settle down, and to finalize some plans with you. So for those of you who are single and you're dealing with this person who is dating around, I'm sensing that you're going to be seizing communication with them. The Four of Swords is usually like a meditative state. When it's in the reverse position, it's like we're not sitting here hoping and praying for things to get better, hoping and praying that person will choose us over other people. I feel like you're going to be kind of like coming into this sense of empowerment where you're just like, who is that person to make me wait around? I'm not going to wait around. I'm going to move on with my life, and I'm going to try to, find somebody that is willing to be exclusive to me. So if you find yourself as well juggling, and you've taken a long time to decide between multiple people, and especially if you have an air sign, an Aquarius, a Gemini, or a Libra, I feel like they're going to be giving you some ultimatums, or they're going to be sort of stopping, cutting out some type of communication with you, okay? So if you're dealing with an air sign, I feel like it's a no nonsense, type of a person, and they're gonna want things to be very clear cut, to be very black or white. Are you picking me, and are you dating me exclusively, or are you dating other people? So that's what I'm feeling here, and I'm sensing that you need to be really quick when it comes to making these decisions. In the past, we have the Magician and the Death card, two major arcana cards. So in the past, you've had a relationship partner that was very, very karmic. For some of you, there was some type of a finality. The relationship is done, over with. And I'm honestly seeing as well this combination. I feel like some of you might be a widow or a widower. And I'm sorry for your loss if that's the case. I feel like somebody might have passed away. And as a result of it, you are currently single. And I'm also feeling as well, you were dealing with somebody like this. We have the Magician. This is someone who's very, very smart. They collect trivia. They collect random esoteric knowledge. They know everything about everything. And they're like a fixer-upper, like they constantly tinker with things, fix things, and their mind is so overly active that they have trouble sitting still. They have trouble, having a domesticated type of a lifestyle. So I feel like they weren't ready for it. And they were still, as well, they wanted to go out, they wanted to have a very robust lifestyle. And I'm also sensing there might have been a lot of issues when it comes to them drinking or going out so much, or constantly going out with their friends, and it became a major problem for the relationship, for the intimacy in your relationship. I'm also feeling as well, we have here, this is somebody that is meant for everybody. They're not supposed to be confined to just one person. So they might have trouble committing themselves to you. They might have trouble committing to just one person. And I feel like this person is no longer in your life, but it's like you can't really stay mad at them. You have trouble kind of staying mad at them. And usually I think of the Magician as someone who's very attractive, very handsome, very beautiful, very good to look at. They're very popular. They have a lot of friends, life of the party, smart, intelligent, witty. So like the whole package. But for whatever reason, this relationship was not conducive to, a domesticated situation. It was not conducive to a happy home life. And so you might have sailed away from this person, which brings us to the present moment. And in the present moment, we have here the Five of Swords. And the Five of Swords, basically, you're dating somebody that you're not very compatible with, okay? This is like mindless, brainless type of bickering. Arguments that are, it's not over anything important. Arguments that just for argument's sake, okay? So it's not really leading anywhere. It's not really conducive to anything. And I feel some of you are currently dealing with an air sign, an Aquarius, a Gemini, or a Libra. And I like the way this card shows up. If you look at her, she has like a very, what is that word? It just escaped my mind. She has a very naughty look on her face. She has a smirk on one side and a straight face on the other. So you're dealing with someone who is very, very intelligent. They're very witty. They might be quite eccentric. And they also, as well, have been through a lot of things in their lives. This is somebody that can be considered a little bit, strange. Almost like a mad scientist. Very, very intelligent. Doesn't really care how he or she looks. They throw on whatever. And, they're not interested in being eye candy or arm candy to anybody. Whereas you might have had a previous lover that really cared about the way they looked, really cared about these superficial things, how they looked, how their hair looked, how their nails looked, how their suit looked, whatever the situation. I feel like you're dating a different type. You're dating somebody that is very low maintenance, doesn't care how she or he looks, and they care about intelligence. And so you're stepping from one relationship partner into a strange new arena, and it can feel a little bit unsettling, and I feel some of you are feeling unprepared. If in the past you've been given free rein to do whatever you want, I'm sensing there is a lot more accountability in this environment, okay? If in the past your partner also gave you a lot of leeway, I feel like this new relationship is one where somebody can be, nickel and diming you. Somebody wants a lot of balance in a relationship. Somebody expects like a more egalitarian relationship. And I also feel there's this sense as well of like feeling very incompatible with your partner. I feel like it's starting to dawn on you that, is this really the one for me? Because we've been arguing over nothing. And I'm also feeling the other person is like your equal match. They're just as intelligent as you. They're just, they have a really good eye for detail. They don't really miss anything. And so if you're telling them a white lie, they will know. And likewise, I feel like they're in the upright position, so I can't say that they're being deceitful or lying. But I just feel like, it's like somebody itching for a fight. They want verbal sparring and they want mental sparring because they get off on that. But I feel like for earth signs are not overly confrontational. And so when there is that much opposition and just mindless chatter and argument in a relationship, it can drive you nuts. So I feel like you're dealing with someone that might be very, very talkative, and it's kind of wearing you out mentally. That's what it feels like to me. They might not be a bad person, but I feel like there's just incompatibility. When you want quiet and solitude, I feel like they invade your space. When they want quiet and solitude, you want action. You want to do things and to experience things. So I feel like there's a little bit of a timing mix-up between the two of you. Timing-wise, you're not on the same vibration, okay? You're not on the same wavelength. Crowning this reading is something that you are thinking about. We have here, this is the Eight of Wands, and the Eight of Wands is love, communication, messages coming from afar, having a lot of options, having a lot of people showing interest in you. And we also have as well the Seven of Swords. For those of you who are thinking about, especially juggling, and I do feel as well, let me see, if you are thinking about juggling, there's temptation here. Be very, very careful. On the other hand, if you fear that, oh, wow, my partner is really attractive and beautiful, and they're traveling, and they're really, really smart, somebody's gonna, want to scoop them up, they're going to succumb to temptation. And if you're dealing with an air sign, Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra, I don't feel that you need to worry, because I feel like, they're on the up and up. They have high moral standards. And so they're not going to do anything that would jeopardize the relationship. I don't think you need to worry. If you're worried as well, oh, my, current relationship partner is, too still heavily involved with his or her ex, or still talking to them. I feel like they're talking to them in a chummy, friendly type of a way, not in a flirtatious way. So I don't feel that you need to worry, okay? And then on the other hand, if you are in a relationship here with an earth sign, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, I see some of you are kind of like doing your research, digging into a situation, checking up on things just to make sure, because there's that sense of temptation or that sense of doubt coming into the relationship. But I definitely feel the relationship is solid. I feel like you've got great chemistry, you've got great communication here, and this is a situation where your partner is working with you to build things rather than tearing things down. So I'm feeling there is a little bit of like, what if my partner is doing this? And all of these things are kind of unfounded, okay? On the other hand, if you are juggling multiple options, I feel like you need to solidify some plans, and you need to, narrow down a person. If you have an earth sign in mind, it seems like a very, very good prospect. So another Virgo, a Taurus, or a Capricorn, if you have an air sign that you're thinking about, should I settle down with this person? I feel like it can be short term, but it's not going to lead you, down a rosy path where the two of you get married and live happily ever after, because of this energy, this endless bickering type of an energy. And I feel like they argue just to argue. Air signs are very verbal. They need that connection with another person. So I feel like with earth signs, it's more like the sensual aspect, the tactile experience, touching somebody and being next to them. But with air signs, they don't even need to be next to you. They just need to constantly hear your voice, constantly, bounce ideas off you. That's how they relate. And if that's not something that you want, this relationship will not work, because there's going to be a lot of power struggles and a lot of incompatibilities that will creep into the relationship and make the relationship feel almost like very tiring, is what I'm feeling. I feel like this person makes you feel very tired. Okay, so not that they're boring. It's not that they're boring at all, but I feel like, do we have to talk about this? Do we have to talk about this now? Do we need to talk about this again? I feel like those are the key words that are coming into the relationship, and it feels to me to be very redundant and tiring. And you're a very end result oriented type of a person. The process of talking about things, you don't really want to go through it. Okay, so I just feel like, it can be short term, but I don't feel it playing out in a way where the two of you, there is a happily ever after. I'm also feeling, for some of you, there is some, it's almost like doubts about how faithful your relationship partner is. And I feel like they're faithful. I feel like they're solid, they're faithful. But, from your end, I want you to also, turn that question back to you. How faithful are you to your relationship partner? And I'm sensing that some of you have some options that you're juggling. Okay, I'm going to leave it at that. Virgos, I wish you all the best, and enjoy the holiday season with your families, your loved ones. Take care of yourself. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.